Hey y'all. All right. Today just working on Project Dolly and going to be removing the throttle body, intake manifold plenum, and the valve covers, and got all new gaskets for all of those. Valve cover gaskets are seeping just a little bit, and the plenum, well, I think there may be a vacuum leak there somewhere. I've been spraying around on it. I haven't found a vacuum leak yet as of right now. But my feelings are, let's see, wait a minute, yeah, that way I'm in the light and you can see me better. Okay, my feelings are though that this, when it gets warmed up, it has a bit of a vacuum leak, and I don't think this engine's ever been apart. I mean, it's only got 120 something thousand miles on it, and it's from '94. So my guesses are it's probably never been apart. I'm in my carport right now. Uh, I would work on Dolly in the garage, but the problem is that Dolly is a little bit big and my garage is small. So it's just a little easier to work on it out here. I would work on it pulled out of the carport, but you probably will hear this in the background. There's just a lot of noise that's from the winds. There's a lot of just heavy winds coming through here, and there's a high wind advisory. Uh, to the north of me, uh, probably the extreme north of the county I live in, there is been some supposedly a tornado touched down, and that's what's been told to me anyway, that a tornado did touch down. So, um, anyway, I'm not, and my electricity's out, so I'm not, I'm not complaining too much. I mean, there's some folks right now dealing without, not only without power, but they're trying to live life without their home. So that's pretty rough, and I'll definitely be praying for them. However, in the meantime, I'm going to be working on this because, yes, I would forego this in bad weather, but the weather's not really bad enough for me to forego it, and not only that, I need to carry on while I can. And this is one of those times that I will carry on. So I've got the air box that goes right here. I've got that off. We'll be pulling this piece off, and then the throttle body, and getting all of that off and getting it out of the way. There's a lot of like debris, like this kind of stuff laying down in there. I have been blowing all kinds of crap out of here for a while. Um, Still stuff down in there. I'm also probably going to do the plugs and the wires too while I'm at it. So let's get started. Um, First, I'm going to pull this off, and then maybe the throttle linkage and that sort of stuff. So let me get some tools and be right back. Okay, y'all. Haven't got much done, I know, but I was able to get the gasket off of this and preserve it, so that's nice. Um, I'll be cleaning all of this up. I've been cleaning some of the debris that was left in here by some mice. I even tried to do this with all of the air cleaner assembly on, and only got so far. So, but like I said, I'll be cleaning all this up, so that's not that big of a deal. The big thing right now I'm dealing with, and this is why this hasn't been removed, is this bolt right here. As you can see, I've got a little silver mark there from a paint marker on there, and there's a reason why. Now the rest of the bolts have just like broken on loose, and I've been soaking them all in some penetrating lubricant. But here's one that is being a little more stubborn, this back one. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to go back and forth with this thing, and I even went so far as to spray some. You can see right there's a gap in that Yeah. There's a gap right there in this bracket, and I'm spraying like some penetrating lubricant and even brake parts cleaner down in that gap to clean out any kind of material that could be keeping this bolt from coming on loose. Now, I do have it broken loose, but I'm fearful that there's a lot of crud that has built up and kind of grown, so to speak, in this channel where this bolt is going through, this passage. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to basically run the bolt down, see, like so. So I'm running it down, as you can see, it's pointed straight back at the back of the engine. Then what I do is I just flip my ratchet and I start going the other way. As you can see now, we're pointed directly 90 degrees of that. So we're pointed now at the passenger side of the engine, or the right side of the engine. I made a video short about the left and the right sides of the engine. So now I'm just going to keep going back and forth until I can get the bolt. As you can see, this is time consuming, it's tedious, and I know it, but you know what? It does result in, when I first started doing this, I was only able to get this bolt to turn barely even an eighth of a turn. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep from breaking the bolt, in something. And yes, I could probably go to the hardware store, get a replacement bolt, and hopefully I don't break it off in the intake. But you could break the intake manifold or the plenum and the bolt, all three, and then you're really screwed. I don't like being screwed. So I'm going to just keep doing this. I don't have anywhere I have to be today. So this is what I'm going to carry on doing. Now, I'm using compressed air. I know I don't have power, but I do have an air compressor that did build up pressure before the power went off. So I'm also blowing this trash out back here, and I've been using this thing here, which has led me to think about, kind of offhand, I wonder what the discussion was when somebody was saying, hey, we could come up with some canned air. I'm just wondering what the discussion was in the boardroom or wherever this was conceived at. Yes. Canned air. Kind of funny to me. I guess I've got a unusual sense of humor. So anyway, all right. Okay. All right, we're pointing just a little bit like that with that bolt. So, oh, look here. Now we're pointing like this, that bolt. So, as you can see, making advancements, slowly, but making some advancements. Okay, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to keep working on that bolt. And hopefully before too much longer, I'll have this off and we can carry on. So, be right back. Okay, y'all, as you can see, not much has happened. I have removed this bolt here, which goes to a bracket that bolts on right there. It's this bracket right here. It's just a brace that braces the compressor to the intake. There's another one right here. The bolt for it is back here, right there, and there's a ground strap on it, so I went ahead and disconnected the battery. Probably wasn't tremendously necessary, but why not go ahead and do that, get that done and out of the way. I've got, to give you some point of reference, and me as well, I've got this bolt sitting in here. This one, as you can see, is out, but as you can also see, there's quite a bit of distance there. I mean, I can get my finger into there. So this one's really getting closer to getting ready to come out. I'm just working it back and forth, spraying more penetrating lubricant down in there. And the other two back there that are their holes on this plenum, there's 5. There's these 5, and there's 5 short ones here down here. My goal is to just get them off and get them out of the way. I guess I'll probably go ahead and pull the throttle body off there and get that son of a gun off and out of the way. That way I can get to the rest of the plenum bolts. I've got to also get the coil pack disconnected, its bracket that it mounts to, get it disconnected and get it off and out of the way. So I've got a little bit of work ahead of me. Yes. But you know what? I'll get it done. And yeah, tedium like that bolt right there. You know, sometimes that's part of what you have to deal with, because you know what? I'd rather deal with that taking up quite a bit of time rather than breaking the bolt off in there and then having to drill things out and yada 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 yada, just taking forever. So anyway, okay, I'll give you some more updates as I move along, so be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm waiting on that bolt to the penetrating lubricant to work on it a little bit more. Getting the throttle body off. You could pull this whole thing off with the throttle body in place, I guess, but it was kind of like, you know, I need to let that bolt soak, so why not pull the throttle body off? And now I'm waiting for, I've got to get these studs out of the bottom. These studs right here. Make sure you got new gaskets to go back, okay? You might want to try to reuse some of this stuff, but I wouldn't. Oh, also, so far all of the bolts are standard, so that's pretty nice too. Okay, you want to get these studs out of the bottom simply because they're just in the way. I can't get this throttle body off of here completely because see, it's just right there. It's almost there, but it won't give. And then these hoses, oh, one of them came loose. There's a couple of vacuum hoses down here. Can I get? See, the wiring for injector number 7's in the way. So, can I? Okay, God, I'm so close. Ah, there we go. Okay. All right, so left. I guess I could leave this attached, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to clean this throttle body up really well, and I want to get it off here in order to do that. So, sit you here real quick, and hopefully the wind doesn't blow you over. Okay, throttle body is off. I'm going to be cleaning in this channel right there. That's your idle air control valve. As you can see, the thing's kind of moved back right now. I don't know if you can see that. See, there's a little light. So it's moved back right now, but I'm going to clean that out, that channel, and of course clean the throttle blades up, get them all nice and pretty. Because all of that crud building up back there, it's just not good. And if you got it off, might as well clean it, get it in good shape. I did clean this before, and you can see some of the throttle blades are pretty well clean, but that was with the throttle body in place. So, all right, now I've got better access to these bolts here on the bottom. Like I said, you probably might be able to get to these, but it's just going to make the job a little harder. And I'm kind of like of the opinion, why? Why make the job harder on yourself? Just go ahead and just take stuff off to make the job a little bit easier. Yeah, I know I'm using this little 4-inch drive ratchet just to run it up and down. But then I use the 3/8 ratchet to force it a little bit more. There's like AIT sensor here on the manifold or plenum. Yeah, upper manifold. Okay, maybe that's some more correct terminology. Then we got idle air control valve, throttle position sensor, and 2 vacuum hoses on this, and then of course there's four nuts on 4 studs that holds this on. So that's pretty important to know. Like I said, there's 10 bolts in the upper plenum, upper intake manifold. So we'll get these all taken apart and get them all. If you can, don't destroy your old gaskets. Compare them to your new ones. Make sure you got the correct ones. Don't go and like destroy them or throw them away if you can help it, if you can avoid it. Okay, I'm going to carry on here and get a little bit further. So, show you a little bit more in a minute. Okay, y'all, as you can see, I haven't gotten much further. That center bolt right there is still giving me a lot of trouble. Still working on it, not going to give up. I'm able to get it so far, and then it gets hard. It gets stuck. So I'm just going to keep working it back and forth until I can get it out completely. So I'm going to pick up on this with a part 2, show you a little bit more, and okay. Right now I've got to go charge my phone up because it's about ready to run out of battery. So thank you very much for watching. God bless. Have a great one, and we'll see you next time.